At this moment, I'm thinking about what I could possibly say to you that are watching me today, especially those of you that have been with me for a while here on this platform, um, to help elevate you, or to help you elevate yourself to the next level in your lives. If you not asked, if you have not ascertained this by now, that I have a genuine concern for you as people, then I don't know what else to say. I just really do not. So those of you that glean from my videos something that benefits you in various aspects of your life, I'm happy to have served you. For those of you that benefit from the martial arts side of things that I discuss and or demonstrate on this channel, I'm glad that I was able to assist you. From a relationship, a personal relationship, and even family relationship side, for those of you that have benefit from that, perhaps, I'm happy to have served you. And any other particular points and subjects that I have touched on here, if I have benefited you in any way or given you any true value, I'm appreciative of you watching my videos, and I'm happy that I have been of some service to you. This video is no different. Some of you have been watching me long enough. Some of you may be new to this channel, but I am what you get when you come here. No bells and whistles, no color lights, no orchestra in the background. I'm just a man talking to other men and women who are the common men and women, the fabric of our world in which we all occupy. Just sharing some information, hoping that it is received for its intended purpose to whomever is willing to receive it, and even govern themselves accordingly. So, my question to you today is that those of you that have been watching and that are new to this right now, why are you not on your journey? That's my question. Why are you not moving on your purpose? Why are you not acting on your goal and your purpose? What's the hang up? You should have purpose. Have you found your purpose? Your purpose in life, one. Your purpose for yourself, and or your purpose for your family or others. Why are you not moving on it? What does it take? The first thing you must do always is acknowledge that you have a purpose. Once you can identify what your purpose is, the next step is obvious. Move. Move on the purpose. It emanates here, and then we carry it out. If you're having challenging health issues, ladies and gentlemen, and even children, teenagers, know and identify what your problem, your issue is as it relates to your health, and do something about it. Don't medicate your problem. If you have physical issues outside of the medical side that involve you participate in its coming to fruition as it relates to you. Let's say, for example, losing weight, building muscle, building your cardiovascular system because you're always out of breath. Someone says, brother teacher, I'm in a relationship with someone and I'm unhappy to be here. Did you hear what you just said? You're in a relationship with someone. I continue to get a few interruptions. You just have to look past that. It's not going to stop what I have to say to you, because what I have to say to you is necessary. So, you are in a relationship and you are not happy in a relationship. Then why are you there? If I become a little emotional, look past it. It's okay. I can be emotional. I can relate to the subjects that I'm talking about to you very well. I'm married to these situations because I've experienced these things in my life. And I'm here to offer you advice and encouragement to help even edify you, build you up, so that you can see some light at the end of the tunnel and start approaching that light and hopefully free yourself. You're in a relationship that you're unhappy in. Let's ask ourselves the real question. Are you legitimately unhappy because there's something that is killing your soul in a relationship that you are not responsible for? If you made a poor decision in getting in that relationship and your partner, let's say, is demeaning you, talking down to you, physically harming you, calling you names, not participating in such a way to keep their a harmony or a calm or a peace within your relationship as much as they possibly can, if they're not contributing to try to make the relationship sustainable, you need to leave that relationship. You need to leave your relationship. You've heard this before. Why are you in a relationship that's not growing? Why are you in a relationship where your partner is abusing you? Physical? That's a no-brainer. We know. That's obvious. You need to leave. Someone touches you one time out of anger, frustration. What's the other expression that is commonly used? An act of passion, maybe. If someone touches you to harm you one time, you should see a red flag pop up in your head and say, I didn't like that. Just because that other individual cannot cope. It is a character issue. Sometimes, not in all instances, it's a character issue. It is sometimes indeed an act of passion, and you just lash out because you are hurt. The person that's inflicting the injury or the harm, they feel hurt, and that's their immediate response. But otherwise, that's not them. But if it is someone who is constant, who continues to put their hands on you or to hurt you physically, it's time to go. That's on either side. Even though it's more commonly known that men put their hands on women, to harm them. I have known, I have witnessed women abusing men physically. So it does happen on both sides. You need to go. Deliberations, counseling hasn't worked. Pleading hasn't worked. You need to go. You need to find yourself an exit plan. If you need some assistance and or some help and advice as it relates to that exit plan, I'm not going to give you specifics because I don't know your specific situation, but I can give you some general answers on how to exit. The name calling, that's emotional stress. That's emotional abuse. No one deserves that. Now, let's switch to the next thing. You're overweight. You are obese, even, or maybe. You've been struggling with your weight for not months, most people years. You can't seem to lose weight. You can't seem to get the weight off. You know what? Outside of some medical issue, some hormonal issue, perhaps, which is in most instances minuscule, small percentage. The majority of reasons that people can't lose weight is them. It's us. We don't want to. If you want to stop this video and think about what I just said, then please do so and then resume thereafter. But we don't want to lose weight because it's not comfortable. It requires us to do something physical. It requires us to change and or modify our lifestyle. It requires us to change our paradigm, how we have always done business as it relates to this, us the person, physically, our physiology. We don't want to do it. We've grown accustomed to doing things a certain way, but we still want a different result. I can still eat my Haagen-Dazs ice cream, my chocolate cookies, my apple pie, my tapioca pudding, all of the things that I enjoy, but I'm still going to lose weight. I still expect my weight to just disappear. Eating all of the fast foods and all of the processed foods and all of the creams and the pastas and the tomato-based sauces, all of those biscuits and rolls and fried foods, and I expect the weight to just take a vacation. It doesn't work that way. You must do something. Now, there are people who say that they have a thyroid issue. I give that to you. But let me tell you this, even with a thyroid issue, your weight just doesn't come from nowhere, even with a thyroid issue. Many people who say that they have thyroid issues and they're gaining weight because it's inactive or it's not working properly or they've had thyroid surgery, what have you. I keep gaining this weight. Is it water? You can surely shed some water. Or is it fat? Fat has to come from something that you ingest. It doesn't just fall upon you through osmosis. So it still does have something to do with your diet and even exercise. So don't use that totally as your excuse. If you've ever watched the television show The Biggest Loser and My 600 Pound Life, What do you think that weight came from? Thyroids? When you're 600 pounds, 500 pounds, 400 pounds, 360 pounds, that came from a thyroid issue. No? Did these people just not eat and still gain the weight? Trying to get you to think. So now, let's dismiss with the thyroid issue right now. Let's get back to the facts that we have excess weight. Some of you extremely overweight. What are you to do? I'm going to say the old answer. You know what it is. You need to change what you eat and how you eat and when you eat. And you need to start engaging in some forms of physical activity, exercise, to help you to burn fat and calories. It's the truth. I'm speaking in generality. Okay, follow me here. Wherever you are on planet Earth, country, city, state, whatever, everyone is different. Some things, some food sources that are available to us on one part of the earth, we don't have other places. Some people don't have certain types of food supplies in their town or in their city. And that may be all that you have available to you. This is where you have to be creative. This is where you have to use that intellect of yours and start planning. You make your decisions based on those researches that you've done. You can lose weight if you want to, but you have to want to. Talking about it doesn't get it done. Brothers and sisters, all of you that are watching me, I'm going to say it again. Talking about it doesn't get it done. It starts here, you say something about it, and then you move on it. It's that simple. Now, stop eating things that's not real food. At the very least, minimize the amount of things that you consume that's not real food. You know what real food is by now, I hope, especially from watching me. That which contains nutrition, that which sustains human life. Do I have to draw this picture on a dry erase board for you? If you don't know what it is, then you need to start searching it out right now. It's basic and it's common to all living creatures. Every living creature, to include human beings, thrive on that which sustains life. And we die from that which does not. I apologize for the intermittent disruptions, but I had a delivery that I had to take care of and customers coming in and so forth. But that doesn't stop the message. The message is the same. This is not supposed to be some artistic work of excellence, this particular video. It's an informational video, one to encourage you. So now, I talked about losing weight and that you must change or modify your diet and start eating real food. And in eating real food, you must remove things that's not real food. That's your processed stuff. That's your artificial things. Now, granted, I know this to be a fact, and you know this to be a fact. We don't control the food industries. The vast majority of the foods that you find in your everyday grocery store is going to be wasteless, or wasteful, I should say. Anyway, it's going to be non-beneficial. There's a small percentage of what's in the grocery stores, and it's usually going to be your produce for the most part. That's going to be real food. Everything else that's packaged, boxed, canned, contains preservatives and chemicals to keep it on the shelf longer so that it can sell. This is common sense. It should be. If you didn't know that, now you know it. If you don't accept what I said, it doesn't mean that it's not the truth. It means that you are in denial, or you just don't want to accept it because you don't want to come outside of your box that you've been encapsulated in it so long. So let's move on. Uh, just wanted to touch on the food and the diet and the exercise. So, what about you all that you're having problems with the job that you're on? You don't make enough money. Some might call it a dead end job. Uh, there's no gratitude. You feel like you're not appreciated, not respected on your job. You know what the obvious answer is, right? Move. Move to another job. Even with this so-called virus, this COVID-19 issue going on, you can still find another job. Is somebody working in other fields that's not yours? Why can't it be you? Do you think jobs are on a particular lockdown where you can't get employment? People are still working. That's why the economy is still moving, right? People are working. All it requires of you is some effort. If you really want a job, you can get a job. No one said it was going to be easy necessarily. No one said that it was going to come without some sort of push, as it were. You might be older, middle age and above, and say, well, I'm just going to hang it out here. I'm just going to stay right here where I am because I'm too old, don't feel like trying to apply for another job, don't feel like learning something new. Then why are you complaining? If that's going to be your response or your answer, why are you complaining? I don't want to hear it. And I'm sure no one else wants to hear you complain, especially when your complaint remains only a complaint and you're not putting any effort into making your situation better. Get what I'm saying? So, what you are doing is defining yourself. You're defining who you really are when you say, I don't want to do better, but I'm going to complain about where I am. And you're going to resign yourself to where you are, meaning that you're not going to go any further than where you are because you don't have the intuitiveness, or you don't have the unction, or you don't have the strength, the intestinal fortitude, or the courage to leave where you are and try to find something better. You can keep your job and still be seeking out something else. You can take up a trade. You can learn a new skill. Develop another skill set. Do both of them at the same time. Or when you get proficient at the new skill set, let the other job go and venture off into that other field. You can do that. Teach yourself something new. Note what I just said. Teach yourself something new. Do you have talents? Do you have other abilities or skill sets that you haven't used in a while, or that you've never used at all? Never thought of even trying to monetize your skill? Can you sew? Now, just a footnote, Reginald, brother teacher, I know how to sew. I can actually sew. I'm not going to use that as a form of income for my own reasons. It requires too much work, and the other things that I do, I just wouldn't have the time for it right now. But if that was the only thing that I had to bring me some form of income, if I didn't have other things going on that brought my major my major income, then I would consider that. I have a few skills that I can earn a living from. And if you have one or two, maybe you should consider that. So, don't make an excuse for your income when you've been used to maybe working almost full time and you're so comfortable working those hours that you don't want to pick up 2 or 3 extra hours during the day or during the week because you like to relax. You like that free time that you've grown accustomed to, that veg time, that couch time. That's usually what the answer is. We enjoy that extra time that we have, and we don't want to do anything else because we know that we're going to be using that extra time that we had to lounge around, to engage in other activities, to talk to other people on the phone who are not working maybe, or who have a similar life. So, before I leave here on this job thing again, or the income thing, if you're not making enough money on your job, the answer is get another job. Someone says that's simple or that's easy to say. It's not. It's not just simply easy to say. It can be done, but you have to want to do it. I know people personally, and I've done it myself, who have worked 2 and 3 jobs at a time. And unfortunately, I've seen single moms working 3 jobs. I have customers that are single parents, 3 children at home, 4 children at home, and they're going to the second job when they come in, or they're going to the third job when they come in. True stories. What's your problem? Unless you have one foot on a banana and the other one in the grave, you're about to die. What's your problem? What's the reason for you not bettering yourself? And if you need the additional income, especially if you have a family, you better challenge yourself. You better get off of your do nothing and do something. And stop making excuses, because you're making yourself even more bitter. And God forbid you have a family, you're making them bitter as well. So, I've touched on relationships a bit, touched on health and wellness, diet and exercise a bit, touched on employment and income a bit. But I'm going to just encapsulate this whole thing by saying this. Whatever situation you find yourself in today that makes you unhappy about you, that makes you unhappy about your circumstances, leave that situation. Just in general, leave that situation. Start trying to figure out how you're going to exit that situation. And another thing real quick I want to touch on too is allowing your family members to manipulate you. You don't deserve that either. Family can be notorious for destroying other family. They can. They will make you feel like you are ostracized from the family because maybe you have a better job. Maybe you have a pretty decent marriage and they're jealous of your husband or your wife, whatever the case. Maybe they're jealous of the fact that you can go on vacation once a year and they don't have the ability or the means financially to do that. Maybe they're upset with you or don't like you. Now I am talking about family because you're upbeat, you're positive, you motivate yourself, you do things, you keep a clean house, you have a car. Maybe those are the reasons that they're jealous of you. Maybe you have family members who have more than you and you're on the opposite side of that spectrum and you have less. And they don't extend their hand of love and compassion to you, their brother, sister, mother, or whomever. And you feel like you're alone and you don't have a family. If you're in a dire straits or situation and you really need someone's assistance and you go to your family first, I would hope, and they tell you, I can't help you, or I don't have it. And behind your back, they're constantly talking down about you. But yet you're struggling. You're making an attempt to better yourself. But that's still not good enough. It could be the result of you having maybe more than one father in the home. You have one father and your siblings had a different father. It could be a plethora of reasons. Whatever the reason is, take solace in this statement here. Try your utmost, your very best to love yourself first, regardless of someone outside of you loving you. Even though we know it's supposed to be that way, oftentimes it's not. It's just simply not. We can't put our finger on it sometimes why people are the way they are, and even family. But you are valuable. You are important. And you are worthy of happiness. Whoever you are listening to me right now, love yourself first and take care of yourself first, and don't worry about what's not the current reality that you actually are seeking. I wish my brother cared more about me, or my sister would call me sometimes, or my children even would talk to me. They disowned me for whatever reason, because I was locked up in jail, or I had a drug abuse issue. I was never around for whatever reason. Love yourself first anyway, because today is a new day. You can always change for the better and be a better you than you were yesterday or yesteryears. Forget about what happened yesterday and start your day today and move forward from that. I hope that this was helpful. I touched on a few things. I bounced around a little bit, but it's okay, because if it really mattered to you, you would have paid attention no matter how it came to you. This is the way in which I express myself to you. This is my methodology, not something that's written down. I don't go by a script. This is just from me to you, my fellow man and women. And I want you to know again, sincerely, before I leave, I love you. And I'll always say that. I do love you. And some of you I have never seen physically, ever. But I've talked to you. I've talked to some on the phone. I've talked through YouTube to you. That's been the vehicle for most of you. And emails. And Facebook. And so on. May the Almighty continue to bless you and yours. Be encouraged. Hang in there and stay strong. Yahweh, God loves you. And Reginald, brother teacher, loves you as well. Take care.